Hello, everyone. I am so excited to bring on one of my incredible Badass Academy clients, Bree, who's going to be sharing her journey with you all. And I am seriously in awe of this woman. We actually just had our final call this week, and everyone in the group was saying how amazed they are by Bree and how inspired they were because she really gave this journey her all. She really did fully show up for herself, and she has completely transformed her life. Yes, she stopped binging. Yes, she completely revolutionized her relationship with food, night and day difference. But she also has a better relationship with her children. She's more patient. She's more calm when she's with her children. She's not people pleasing. She has a better relationship with her body. She used to compare her body a lot. She used to worry so much about what other people thought about her. And she's really stepped into her power and really seen herself as this incredible, powerful woman. She's also completely shifted her relationship with alcohol, which I'm sure she'll talk about as well too. Like, she's deepened her faith. There's so many other areas of her life that has improved. And this is what happens when you work with me in close proximity, especially inside of the academy. The academy is really for, I would say, like this unicorn. Like, things are going well for you. You care about your health. You've been prioritizing your relationship with food, maybe even had less urges and less binges, but you are ready for your binge-free life. You are ready to step into the woman that you know that you're meant to be. So I cannot wait for you guys to listen to Bree, and you guys are going to be in awe of her. Like, she is so incredible. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on and get ready to be moved, get ready to feel so much hope and excitement that fully stepping into your binge-free life and transforming your relationship with food is 100% possible. Hello, Bree.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. Okay. I'm so excited. I was reflecting back on when you came on the podcast last time. It was July of 2024, almost a full year. Crazy. And
Mhm.
I'm excited to just bring you on and honestly just like share your journey. Just like everyone said in the Academy call yesterday, everyone's just in awe of you. Like, you have come so far on your journey, and I'm sure you felt the love yesterday.
I
And
did.
I just want to celebrate the crap out of you. And I also want to have every single person listening recognize that you can not only transform your relationship with food, but you can revolutionize your life. Like, you've done a complete 180 in so many other areas, which we'll talk about: alcohol, faith, all the other aspects. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to have you come on. But I guess for you, what do you believe has been the number one thing that has gotten you to a point where your results happen pretty quickly? I remember even the first month in, you're like, Lorna, I'm not even using the tools because I don't even have any urges to binge. Like, you are somebody that has gotten results pretty quickly. And I believe it's because of who you are and how dedicated you are to this journey. But I'd love for you to just kind of talk about, why do you believe that you are so successful on this journey?
Um, well, first of all, because you know what you're doing and it works. I will say that. But for me personally, I think one of the biggest things was, and you talked about this early on, like some people are going to jump on and just go and ride this like a roller coaster and go fast and take everything you have and at least try it. It might not work for them. And just go for it and listen to you and trust you. And so that's what I did. I was like, I have nothing else to lose. This is rock bottom. It's now or never. I can't live like this anymore. So I am going to do everything I can to listen to you, get this advice, take this advice and apply it to my life because I want to heal. I think and we've talked about this before, what's unique about me is when I finally joined the academy, I was 2 months shy of giving birth to my third child. And so for sure, like that gave me a little kick in the butt, like get this done because guess what? Like it's hard right now. You're physically in a lot of pain. It's hard right now, but it's going to be a different hard when your baby comes in 2 months. And so, and we talked about that. I'm like, do I wait till after? And you're like, no, like get the tools now. And I'm so happy you said that. I'll always say that because I wouldn't be where I am right now. Who knows if I even would have joined at all once the baby was born. So yeah, just jumping in, diving into the community. The community is something I didn't think I really needed. And I think you might have even said that when you were on your journey. Oh my goodness. The community is amazing. It's going to be one of the saddest parts, like to leave that. But like me and the women have talked and like, we're going to stay in contact. And I know I have you on social media. Like we're going to be in each other's life.
Yeah.
But that has been so amazing. And it's like anyone who's struggling with binge eating, like we got to that place somewhere because we didn't believe in ourselves. We couldn't see ourselves how others did. Um, and so when you get in contact with these other people who understand what you're going through and in contact with you, Lorna, you hear things about yourself that you're like, no, like you wouldn't say that about me. And this group of women, we build each other up. And you need that, especially when you're here. Like you've probably hit rock bottom if you're here. Um, and so the support has been amazing.
Yeah.
So getting into this community and stepping out of your comfort zone and being honest, because as we start to open up, as I started to open up, or someone shared something that I was embarrassed to share, and you're like, this is a safe space, like we can go deep, like we can go there, then you can really heal. Like I was scared to talk about my struggle with alcohol.
Yep.
And I don't know if I was the first one to bring it up, but someone else brought up theirs, and I was like, okay, like I can do this. And then it helped me because I was able to apply everything you were talking about, binge eating, to that. And my relationship is drastically different with it. So,
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah. And I love that you mentioned the community aspect because I think we're all very independent women. Like I see all of everybody in the community as like strong, badass woman. And you can be a strong, independent person and still need that support. Like everybody needs support. Everyone needs to feel less alone. And this is not, a community of people that are complaining, like, oh, I just binge. Like, there's no complainers. It's like, Bree, I see you. Oh my God, Bree, you mentioned that on the call, last week, and we're so proud of you. It's like, rising woman up, lifting you up. It's like, this is why everyone leaves the call feeling like I feel so much better because everyone's just there to really see you win. No competition, no judgment. And that's, also why you felt so safe to bring that up because vulnerability breeds more vulnerability. When you see somebody going first and it's like, okay, she brought that up. Like now I feel safe to bring that up. You can't experience that in many places. So I think that's really
Yeah.
important. Let's rewind a little bit.
Mhm.
So I remember when we were first having a conversation, you were actually asking about like the membership versus the academy. And I remember you saying something like, I feel in my heart that the academy is best for me. And like, I'm afraid of just going into the membership because, the price is a little bit different, but I think I really want to go into the academy. And so what made you come back and be like, my husband and I were on board, like we're going all in, like the academy was for me. Like what led you to being like, I want the highest level of support?
Yeah. Because for me personally, I'm like, I love to ask questions and
Yeah.
I need that. Like I've always been that way. So I wanted a little bit more of that intimate setting and more access to you. So I'm like, if I'm gonna do this, like I'm gonna do it right. Like I said, I'm gonna go all in. And so, and like I said, I hit rock bottom. I waited because I took one of your programs, Eat Normally, in like November 2023, and I waited until May of 2024. And again, and I think this is an important part of it is nobody likes to talk money, but I think it's important to bring it up. Obviously, like this is a big commitment to most people. And so that is what held me back at first. Like, and I didn't want to put that pressure like on our family with finances. And I felt almost selfish, but I realized it's it's the like it's the best thing I could have done for my family. First of all, you can't put a price on your health, your mental health. And my life has changed so amazingly. Like, so I couldn't put a price on that. But also, I will say this, that also gave me another kick in the butt. I just put up this money. I just told my husband, I don't want to let him down. I don't want to let my kids down. I don't want to let myself down. If it was way cheaper, I don't know if I would have taken it as seriously.
Yeah.
And you know me, and I resigned. I did the first 4 months, and I was like, okay, I feel amazing, but now my son is only 2 months old, and I got to get through this postpartum. I'm in a tough season, and
Yes.
I still need this. So yeah, I mean, like I said, like it's a big commitment, so you better commit to yourself if you're
Yeah.
gonna do it.
And this is why, like, the people at the academy are really at the top because, yeah, when you are investing, a big amount of money, it's like you show up differently. You're committed at a different level. If something was, $22, you might watch it, you might not watch it. It's like, man, this is probably not going to even help. But it's like when you are like, I am doing this, I am going all in. I'm not only investing big money wise, but time and energy. I'm going to show up to the weekly calls. I'm going to plug into the community. You're more invested, which is why your results also skyrocketed as well too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So with being 7 months pregnant at the time, there was obviously a little bit of like, hesitation of like, should I join? Should I not join? And now looking back, even for somebody else who might be pregnant or in that situation, like you have so much experience with being in this journey, pregnant and then postpartum. Like, what would you say to that person that, might be like, oh, like maybe I can wait, or, maybe now is not the best time? Like, what advice would you have for that person?
Um, I would just say you with a lot of big commitments in life, like you don't know if you'll like what is going to be the right time. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And this program gives you tools so that you can weather storms, so that you can deal with the tough times. Like I'm like, okay, well, if I don't do this because I'm pregnant, like what if I suffer a huge loss in my family or something just crazy happens that throws me into a stressful situation? How am I going to handle it if I can't heal my relationship with food and my relationship with alcohol? Like I don't want to turn to these things anymore. It is clear to me they're not healthy. So at any point, like, and the good thing is like things are flexible. Like I made a commitment. So like what I've done 10 months. So roughly 40 academy calls. They're weekly calls. I know for sure I missed one, possibly two, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing for me. Even if you don't have a question, just and hop on and listen, or someone says something and you're like, wait, I resonate with that, or that brings up this question for me. And the thing is and if you can't make it, you can make the replays. And a lot of times I couldn't make like your master classes and stuff live because of my kids and my schedule. So again, someone who's pregnant or you're going through something, well, I can't do all of this at once, it's too much. um you have the replay, and it's just so awesome. I mean, it's like everyone, not everyone, but like a lot of people listen to podcasts, whatever it is, on your own time when you can focus. And if you need to re-listen to it because you missed something last time, like if you're going to commit to yourself and you want to heal, you're going to make time for it. No matter what season you're going through, and you will not regret it.
Yes.
I don't think any of the women in the academy regret it. I've seen progress all across the board. So,
Yes, yes. And I even want to dive into your progress, not just with your relationship with food, because that's just a night and day difference, but even
mhm.
alcohol.
Yeah,
What do you want to share in terms of that? Because the, all of these, whether it's binge eating, whether it's alcohol, whether it's, a shopping addiction, like they're so intertwined and related. And what made you want to even shift your relationship with alcohol? Because at first was like you were feeling so good with your relationship with food. And from my perspective, it was like, this isn't aligned with the woman that I want to be. But I'd love to hear kind of your perspective on that as well too.
for sure. I would say that alcohol, just like binge eating, it offered that temporary relief or that temporary high, and even more so because when you have a drink, it lasts longer than stuff in your face, and then that's gone, and then you feel so low. And alcohol, I think binge drinking is a big thing in our culture that people think like it gets like glamorized. And I always felt in my heart, and I would scroll through Instagram when I had a bad relationship with Instagram, which I also healed, or any social media through this. And a lot of people like glorified like dealing with motherhood, um, with pouring the wine. And I felt that way. And by no means was I drinking during the day or being a negligent mother, because I like to make that clear. um, I didn't like my relationship with it. I didn't like that I was looking at the clock sometimes and I couldn't wait for the clock to strike 5, because whatever rule that is, that's when 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I'm on the floor playing blocks with my kids with a glass of Chardonnay next to me. And that took the edge off. I didn't like that. And I wanted to change that. And a lot of times in the past, it was like, well, yeah, I want to cut out alcohol because like that's going to make me gain weight. When I was all diet culture, then that makes me eat more. And it did, like, to it like it loosened me up to then forget like what I like, that I don't want to overeat to feel healthy. And I would binge after I would drink. And it was just a vicious cycle. Um, and so like anything, like any food that you put on a pedestal, I had to take it off the pedestal. And I had tried many times before a cold turkey, or let's do dry January, let's take a month off, whatever. And that's why I love this program, because I just was like, okay, the way she's talking about food, like if you like chocolate, if you like ice cream, if you like bread, don't tell yourself you can't have it, because that's all you're going to want to have. And that's what was happening with alcohol. And I think being pregnant 3 times exacerbated that, because I would go, I mean, I'm someone who would never even take one sip of alcohol when I'm pregnant. And so I would like want it. And then, and I was using it to deal with stress. And once I had my kids. So anyways, yeah, I didn't like my relationship with it. And so when I took it off the pedestal and I was able to have it when I want, and obviously it's tricky because it's not food. Like you can't just have it when you want. Like
Yeah.
it's alcohol, it can be dangerous. So I would just, okay, do you want a glass tonight? Or like I would pour one, and then I would find myself then like I felt safe. Like you can have this. Like I felt safe. And then I would find myself quickly too. Like it didn't take a very long time. Maybe because too I wasn't sleeping very well with the newborn. So who wants to drink alcohol? But um, I would pour like a glass out. I would have like half a glass, and I'm like, I don't want this, because also we learn in your program, how do I want to feel? And that's where I've moved with alcohol now. I'm like, I don't want to not get good sleep. I don't want to have cotton mouth. I don't want to have a headache. And then obviously that would affect my family. So yeah, I have such a great relationship with it now. I can take it or leave it. I just went out for my grandma's 89th birthday last night with my whole family. Um, and before, like one of the first things would be like, oh, it was so stressful getting out of the house with all 3 kids, getting here, blah, blah, blah. I'm nervous. How are they going to act in a restaurant? Give me the wine, give me the wine. And it's like, I didn't need it immediately. I had a glass I poured a little bit more because we had wine on the table. And I took like one or two sips and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And I feel so good about that.
Yes.
Because before I would want to get drunk.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's because of your mindset. Like you said, if you're going balls, well, let me just cut it out like food. That's when you have those strong urges. I always, reiterate, you have to find what works best for you. And, if taking it out is actually making those urges stronger, don't do that. Find that balance. And now, because you're telling yourself you can have some, it's like, wait, yeah, some nights I'm going to have some. And some nights I'm like, no, thank you. And that is true freedom. Like that is you stepping into your power. And that's incredible. So, relationship with alcohol, I want to dive deeper into your faith because I know we had this conversation, but me seeing the way you have strengthened your relationship with faith is so beautiful. And I knew that there was something else because I'm like, you're like making incredible progress and you're coming on these calls and you're such a light and you're so positive. I'm like, there has to be something else. And when you shared, like, about your faith, and I'm like, this all makes so much sense. So, how has deepening your relationship in your faith supported you on this journey of healing your relationship with food?
Sure. So I would say that I grew up in, just give you a little background. I grew up a Christian, going to church as a child, and my family we would go at different seasons in our life, more sometimes and less. And then I I started going again in July 2023 to the church by my house by myself a little bit. We weren't sure if we wanted to put the kids in the child care, and so I started going, and then got more comfortable. Then my husband started coming more, and we had the kids, and they loved it, and so that's when I started. So that was July of 2023, and then like I first took a program with you in November, and so that's a journey too, just like this journey. And so slowly, like I joined a community group, and I started getting super. I couldn't get enough. Like I just felt like hearing God's word. It's just you become thirsty for it, and a lot of people will say that, and you don't really understand it until you start doing that. And again, it's not just about doing a little bit. I did it just like I did this program. I jumped in. Okay, community group. Okay, we're gonna go give of our time and serve. Okay, I want to read the Bible. And it's just been so transforming. And I feel like I never found my purpose. I didn't feel like I had purpose, especially when I became a mom. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And so I left my career and I wanted to do that. And me and my husband decided that together. But a lot of women have a hard time switching identities, and in being in this culture, sure, working moms and stay-at-home moms are celebrated, but not, sometimes you get the negative sides of both, and people who will comment. And again, I was a person who was so worried about what everyone thought and what this culture thought. So I I know, like they'll say your purpose, your worth is it only matters what God thinks about you. And I would say finally having that really click on for me over the past like 2 years, it's like I feel so good on the inside. I have changed because like I know my purpose. And I feel like everything's gonna be okay. In this world we live in, everything's gonna be okay. A lot of my anxiety was driven. There was a lot of things, but worrying about the things I cannot control and giving it up to him and trusting him. It's so it's just so powerful the way you will see him move in your life. And I feel so healed. And I feel like by the way, and you know this story, but for others out there, and there's another woman in our group has mentioned a similar story. I was like, okay, I'm going to give it all up to God. I was on anxiety medication. I'm going to do all this. I'm going to give it up to him. And this was right before I joined one of your classes in November. And so I prayed about it. I was reading my Bible. I got sidetracked, picked up my phone, and what I read was, if you need help, if you have an addiction, get the professional help you need. So I was like, oh, okay. So it's not just like God gives you a way so that you can work through it. If you want patience, I pray about patience all the time. And I'm seeing him I want patience. And so my son is going to have a tantrum right now, and I'm going to learn how to get patience. And
Yes.
so I'm going to learn through you how to heal my relationship through hard work. And so I saw that. Then I picked up my phone, scrolling, and I didn't follow you. I didn't know who you were. You came across the screen and you intrigued me. And then I dug in more and I dug in more. And as I did, and I listened to your podcast for a while, I was trying to do, okay, what can I do? What can I find out about this woman before I join anything? Um, and it just kept, I felt it in my bones. And so I feel like God led me to you. Absolutely. I know that for sure. Because I can't, my cup is so filled, it's overflowing, and I'm so filled with joy. And it's a combination of how you've healed me, but absolutely my faith, like for sure. In the community I have with that too. And so I'm sad to leave our community, but I also, you talk about the 10 pillars of health and faith being one of them, or in community. I have that combined, and I just feel like everything's going to be okay with all the noise and the chaos in this world. Everybody is struggling and looking for what's going to make them content. You can't find it in anything but him. That's my belief, at least.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And having faith is so important because when a challenge arises, or Brie, if you overate, I truly believe the people who have a deep sense of faith, they don't fear those challenges. It's like, I can literally overcome anything. Okay, I overate. Like, you never really beat yourself up. You're just like, okay, well, like, I'm going to move on. Like, you've always saw more of the positive side of things. And I don't think that's a coincidence. It's like, no, because I know that everything's going to be okay. And, I think that is just, it's so beautiful to witness. And I'm like, I just know the people that have a strong faith background. It's like they can overcome this. I wouldn't say easier, but they're more positive in the situation because it's like it doesn't matter where I'm at right now. I can be at rock bottom. I can be not binging, but maybe still be overeating, but I will be okay. And that's just incredible. So thank you for sharing that.
well, you're welcome, and thank you for encouraging me to do that, because I've learned to not worry so much if someone's going to have a negative thought on me sharing that. I've always known that I should be that way, but I couldn't fully be that way. And you've helped me come out of my shell in that way to be myself and share my faith, no matter what someone else listening might think.
Yes. I'm glad that you brought that up because for everyone listening, it's like the work that I do. It's like I'm sure you're even hearing it from Brie. It's like this is not just I'm going to help you stop binge eating. This is let's stop worrying about what other people think. Let's have a better relationship with our children. Let's be more patient. Let's be more calm. Let's stop the people pleasing. And something that I even wanted to dive into next was you being calm and present with your children because I
Oh,
know that that was a journey as well too. And I think so many moms can relate to being snappy and being irritable. And it's like, I love my children so much. Like, what? Like, this doesn't feel like me. Just like binge eating, it doesn't feel like me when I snapped at my 3-year-old daughter. Like, oh, like it's so frustrating. So, how has your relationship with even your children shifted along this journey?
it's night and day. Um, I took a program when my first daughter, who's now 6, was 2 years old. I could see myself getting irritable because now things change. She's not just a baby anymore. I've got to really parent her. She's going to have tantrums. And I saw myself losing it, like literally, like I want to hit something. I want to hit the wall. I want to scream. And because I grew up, like I was angry and I saw anger. And so I had that and I was battling it and I knew it wasn't okay. So I took a program and they had great advice on parenting and stuff, but I had to change. And so I took So that wasn't the end all be all answer. Working with you was, I feel so much more calm. Like I have used tools like breath work to help regulate my nervous system because your cortisol levels rise off the charts when they're screaming. Like they're screaming, they're crying. It does something to a mom. And I've discussed this with other moms. It just goes like right through you and you can't think. Um, and you have to put them first and you have to put yourself on the back burner. And so it's hard sometimes and it's hard in the moment, but I have been so much more present and calm and just again because I found my purpose and I wasn't reaching to do all these other things. I
Mm,
was like, right now, this is what's important. They're important.
yes.
And I learned a lot of that through my faith as well. But I was going to post it in Slack to the other women yesterday. Both of my kids, my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old, were having tantrums because they were making cards for my grandma and they kept messing them up. They were ripping them, yelling, like, because I'm sure my daughter picked up some of my anger. And some of it might be genetic, but I was literally telling them, okay, let's breathe. Let's breathe. Let's be calm. Let's like I was trying to teach them to do breath work. um, and it was okay. And the best thing is that I was calm during it.
Yeah.
Like I just love that and seeing that I can do that. And each time I conquer a tantrum or I make it through the end of the day, I make it through bedtime routine or I make it through a hectic morning or lunchtime, whatever I feel stronger. Um, yeah, and I don't want anyone to be held back if you think, oh, I have kids, I can't do this. Because a lot of times I did have, you talk about reframing your mind a lot, and that was actually like the biggest tool for me.
Mm,
And I think that goes hand in hand with my faith, just casting down negative thoughts and speaking truth. And so I would do that to myself constantly. And so, but at the beginning, I would think Lorna doesn't get it though. She doesn't have kids. I would think that. And I
yeah.
would get like mad at you in my head. She doesn't get it. Like I'm eating dinner right now and there's a screaming baby and 2 kids jumping off the wall asking me for dessert. Someone's in the bathroom asking us to help them go to the bathroom and I'm trying to take them. I'm like, how am I supposed to check in with my fullness? How am I supposed to breathe? How am I supposed to find static? Like, and it was just woe is me, woe is me. And when I changed that, I can do this. I'm strong. Look at me going through this. Look at how strong I am. And when I started changing that, you can do this and stop speaking negative out loud. Like, I'm going to lose it. No, I'm not going to lose it. I'm going to get through this. I'm not going to lose it. Sorry, I'm super passionate, by the way.
No,
So,
I'm like,
talking with
I'm
my hands.
giving you the mic because I like we were even talking about on our conversation. It's like you've transformed your life and you can't keep this stuff in. Like I've shared that with you. It's like when you have literally gone through this transformation, it's easy when you have it to be like, no, but I can't change my thoughts. No, 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 but you don't understand. Like, I can't have health and fitness goals, when healing my relationship with food. I can't be a calm, present mom. I got 3 kids, or I can't do this. But then when you've actually experienced it yourself, it's like, I want to be that source of inspiration to other women
Mhm.
who believe no, 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 like, but I'm different. No, I can't do it. And you've literally proved that wrong in so many other areas, but it's because you decided. Because other people would use that as an excuse. But you are like, no, I'm going to do this for my children. Like I'm going to do this for them and be a better parent, a more present, calm parent, and it's so beautiful to see. So it's a decision.
It's the best gift I've ever been given, I feel like, is to just feel free. Like
Yes.
I feel free. I feel like the noise in my head has quietly gone away. And it's just, I feel like I can do anything. So
So good. Well, as we're wrapping up, I know we talked about you being pregnant, and now we got baby Luke. I love baby Luke on calls. Miss baby Luke. I'm like, Brie, I promise I'm looking at you, but I'm also staring at your son. I'm so sorry. He's too cute.
I don't blame you. Thank you.
um, but I think something else that we've discussed as well too was like I'm afraid that I won't be able to still take care of my health or have health and fitness goals or feel really
Mhm.
amazing in my own skin. And now you've had Luke, you're postpartum, and you feel the best that you've ever felt. So walk us through what life is like now, like relationship with food, like anything you want to share with how your life is now that you've literally completely revolutionized your relationship with food.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was my biggest thing because when I came to you, I was like, well, I better get fit like Lorna. Like that was my end goal, and my goals have changed completely. But I have been able to have health and fitness goals. First of all, again, you need to listen to the advice. I have not been on the scale since May of 2024. And when I had my first daughter, we walked in from the hospital after I got settled, I got on the scale. 5 days postpartum, I was on a diet. 3 weeks postpartum, I was on a treadmill with it dialed up to 7+ miles an hour and really hurt my back. Um, because I was obsessed. And everyone, oh my, I was heavier in high school. That's how I got to this place. And so everyone who knew me, you're amazing. Like, look at your body. Like, you'll make, I was, in way better physical shape. It appeared to be. And I thought I was fine. Um, and I was not. And I was binging and I felt like a fake about it. And I had a food blog and all, and about, balanced eating, and I got it balanced. I thought I was doing it right, but then I knew something's wrong because I'm still binging. I'm able to still like kind of keep within that weight, but something was wrong. So I'd always used, after both of my kids, diet and exercise, um, Weight Watchers, trying to count macros. I'm going to go vegan, and not that there's anything wrong with that if you have health restrictions, but it was always based on weight loss
Yes.
because I was always looking at all these gurus. What's the answer? What's going to make me lose weight? And so fully trusting you. And even along the way, I would say I would doubt. I'm like, but she's different. Oh, she says she likes bone broth, like sometimes for dinner, which I had some bone broth for breakfast with sourdough toast today. Um, anyway, so I just fully trusted you, and I fully let go of my food rules, and I don't have any rules with food, and it's so amazing. And I again have not been on a scale, but I'm in all of my pre-baby clothes. I'm going to Florida next week, and I'm in my old bathing suits. I I'm not upset, like, looking in the mirror, like, and I don't fully feel like, body image was a big struggle with me. I don't, I know I'm not fully, some things are still tight here and there. So that's a signal. Oh, I'm not at that like skinniest body, and I don't care. I have energy. I feel fabulous. My confidence, in just everything, not just my confidence was in how I looked.
Right.
And what are you going to do if something happens tomorrow and it changes the way you look? So you need to get your confidence somewhere else. I mean, I feel like I have that. And I wrote it the other day in the group. I'm like, I love, like, if you work with Lorna, you realize like there's no rules about like when you can eat. Like, I wanted, this was like 7 a.m. After my workout, I wanted protein, but I was trying to see if Greek yogurt bloats me, and it turns out it does. So I'm glad I took it out these past 5 days because I was bloated every day, and I was like, why am I bloated? And so I was like, okay, like, don't put Greek yogurt in your smoothie, but you want a fruit smoothie? That sounds good. I'm gonna have some spicy shrimp from dinner yesterday. Okay, like my husband was laughing. He's like, are you having shrimp right now? I was like, yes. It's delicious, and I was satisfied. So it's like, and that my relationship is so different with food now. I had pasta last night for my grandma's birthday, and there's not all this noise in my head when I'm reading the menu about anything being fattening or too many carbs or this sugar or whatever. And I was able to discern. You will learn. Like, I was like, do I want that rigatoni with vodka sauce and sausage, or do I want the spaghetti bolognese? And I was like, well, I think the vodka sauce might hurt my stomach and the sausage might hurt my stomach. So I'm going to go with the bolognese. And then I ate it, and I'm just like, I'm literally in conversation and I don't care. And like, I used to get really angry when my two older kids were babies and we'd be out to dinner or whatever. And I just stop and feed them a bottle. I wanted to keep drinking wine and eating, and this is my adult time. And like, I didn't care at like all. I was like feeding my son while appetizers were out, and like, I wasn't anxious or anything. And we did cake for my grandma's birthday. I took a few bites, but I didn't really want it. I was like, ooh, the kids' ice cream looks better, but I was full. We got home and I'm like, I'm full. I don't need anything. But usually, like, oh, I would have totally, like, I probably would have had drinking too much, overeaten the dessert, and got home and then stuffed my face with more stuff before bed.
Yep.
That was the old me. And it's not me at all. Like, I don't check menus before I go typically. Yeah.
Night and day difference. And I love how you said, like, you've released your food rules and you've gotten healthier. Like the changes
Yes.
that you've made, even with your health, like have completely changed. Like you're drinking bone broth for your gut health. You're making your sourdough toast. Like, it's like when you release your food rules, that does not mean, eating like crap. Like you really care. You've always been somebody that really cares about what you put into your body. And that is just proof that you can literally become the healthiest, most confident, happiest version of yourself when you actually do this work.
Absolutely. You will change things that you didn't think you would. Like, I would always call myself a caffeine addict. So right
Mm-hmm.
after being pregnant, I would jump in again to 2 to 3 cups in the morning and a cup in the afternoon. And I was able, through growth, maybe you can't do this right away when you join. And I was scared. I was like, if I cut out the caffeine or take away my afternoon cup, like, is that gonna make me feel restricted? And no. And we just recently, this is like a month, maybe not even, that I talked to you about this. I only have 1 cup of coffee now in the morning, and I am getting better sleep because I was like, I think coffee is making me anxious and it's making me not be able to sleep at night. Even if I'm having it at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, not going to bed till 9, I still can't sleep it. So, and
Wow.
like, I'm taking care of all 3 kids and I'm up at 5 a.m. and I'm fine without it. So,
Yes. Oh my God. Okay. Well, we've literally covered so much. And wow, everyone listening to this is going to be like, I want to be like Brie. Like, because you've you've changed so many areas of your life and it's just this ripple effect. So, obviously how proud I am of you. And I know you can feel how proud you are of yourself as well, too. So yeah, I'm so proud of you for going all in and being someone who is so committed through this process, no matter what, no wavering, no, oh, a challenge comes up, I'm going to pull away. Like you leaned in fully. So I'm so proud of you.
well, thank you. And I just am forever grateful for you for turning this into a business and sharing what happened to you in your journey so that we can all heal.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Bree, for coming on. We'll definitely stay in touch.
For
And
sure.
yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course. Take
Okay,
care.
talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Holy moly. Isn't Bree just the most amazing badass? Holy moly. Like, it's such an honor to coach women just like Bree who are committed, who are dedicated, who are ambitious, who put their health as a top priority, who is serious about conquering binge eating. And that's why she's experienced this radical transformation. She wasn't half in, she wasn't half out. She was all in. She's like, I want the highest level of support. I want personalized coaching with you. That's why she jumped straight to the academy, because she's like, I want to be in close proximity with you. I want to be able to ask my questions. I don't want to be in a group with a bunch of people. I want to be able to have your direct support and feedback. So if you're someone who is ready to completely stop binge eating, I'm talking about not a single urge to binge. I'm talking about you can go out for dinner with your beautiful family and order exactly what you want, and the food noise is not even there. You want to radically not just heal your relationship with food, but you want to literally change your life. You've seen with Brie, so many other areas of her life has drastically improved, and it's so much closer than you realize. So if you are someone who's ready to go all in, you're like, I'm ready to fully step into my binge-free life, the Academy is for you. It's 6 months, high level personalized coaching in a small group with women who are just as committed, who are just as dedicated to you to fully stepping into their binge free life. So if this sounds like you and you want to go to the top, you're like this special unicorn. You're like, yes, I want the highest level of support. I'm so ready to do this. This is the top priority. You can message me on my Instagram Academy and I'll share all the details with you. This is the program that Bree did. And it's no coincidence that, she has completely transformed because she really did go all in. So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. I hope that this made you realize that you're not different, that when you really go all in, this is what can happen for you as well too. Bree is not different. I am not different, but you do need to show up. You do need to invest. You do need to show up for yourself. But when you do that, you'll absolutely conquer. So have a beautiful rest of your day, you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.